Oh god. Oh god. Here we go. Here we go.
To claim your Verdant Wilds dodge roll effect by following the instructions below. Now today, it's finally time to show off a new class that we know everyone in the community's been waiting for. So let's roll the trailer for Path of Exile 2, The Last of the Druids.
He's naked. Oh yeah, bot.
Well, well. What have we got here then?
You lost, fella?
Hey, we're talking to you.
I asked you a question.
I have 2 wolves inside me. 2 bears
What's
even.
wrong with him?
Ah, he's lost his bloody mind.
Wow, he looks so cool. Wow. Okay, the werewolf, they actually did the werewolf so good. I love how he's not top heavy and he's actually proportional. The tornado! Oh my gosh. What? There's no way. Oh my gosh. A freaking dragon? Are you kidding me? No, bot. Sold. Actually, that's a wyvern. Get it right.
Find you, evil.
And it's a free weekend, chat. It's a free weekend.
Now, as you can see, the Druid is a shape-shifting elemental spellcaster. After his fellow Druids were destroyed by the King in the Mists, the Druid lost his humanity in the forests of
That
Ogham,
damn
where he
king.
wandered for years as a beast. Now, finally reawakened, he's determined to find his lost wife and regain his humanity.
We have a wife? Oh my
The
god.
Druid has been one of the hardest classes for us to design. As well as having human spells,
We're
he has
not
3 animal
maidenless.
forms, and we wanted to make sure that there were interesting combos between all of them. The Druid is our first hybrid strength and intelligence class. That means he needs to have the ability to use spells and attacks.
He's just a wife guy.
As a human, the Druid typically uses magical staves to harness the powers of the earth and the natural
Oh my
world.
god, he has a poison rain
One of the
ability
first
and a
skills you will learn
tornado.
is the ability to create small volcanoes from the earth.
Oh
This
my
skill
god, I'm
spits out
sold.
balls of magma at your enemies, and will continue to do so for some
I'm
time.
freaking sold.
While the volcano is active, turn into an animal and wade into melee range. Many of the skills you use as a human last for a significant period of time, giving you a good chance to turn into an animal and rage out.
The way I'm probably gonna play as a
But how do
pure
you turn into an animal, you
spellcaster.
may ask? Well, the answer is a new weapon type that Druids use, animal talismans.
What?
When you equip an animal talisman, you can choose which animal form you would like the talisman to represent.
Oh
Depending
hell
on what you
no.
choose,
Oh my god.
you'll be given that animal's basic attack as a new skill to equip. For a bear, that's Maul.
The
turn
bear
into a
looks
bear,
so
simply use the skill.
good.
Your character will instantly transform into a bear and attack.
It looks
If you
so
want to change back to a
good.
human, just cast a spell. You will instantly swap back and cast it.
Yeah, no.
We wanted to
Yeah,
make
this
sure
is
that swapping
awesome.
between forms was seamless and immediate. Changing forms should be something that you do without even thinking about it all the time
Oh
in
my
battle.
gosh.
In order to allow for hybrid melee and caster gameplay, most of the skills you use in your human form last for some time and aid your animal skills in some way. The volcano we used earlier will emit more molten balls whenever you hit it with a slam, making it perfect
Oh.
for use with your bear form's furious slam.
More
While in bear form,
volcano.
many of your abilities use rage. There are a lot of ways to generate rage, but the easiest one is simply smash your enemies with Maul.
Me smash. Me bear smash.
Once you see the runes on your back glowing, it means you have enough rage to do a much more devastating version of your furious slam. Your bear form can also go on a rampage, stomping the ground as you demolish your foes.
Guys, this is
The more
so...
rage you have,
You
the
have no
longer the
idea
rampage
what this
lasts.
means.
And doing it over a volcano makes it even better.
You have no idea what this means.
As you consume rage, your bear form will generate endurance charges, and these can be used with skills like Ferocious Roar. Ferocious Roar is a war cry that empowers your subsequent attacks to break your opponent's armor. The more endurance charges you have when you use it, the more empowered attacks you will gain.
Your
But
bear is
Ferocious
so
Roar has
cute.
another special feature too. It's a meta gem that allows you to socket any Warcry gem from another class into it, giving
Okay,
you the
that's-
ability to use these skills as a bear.
That is so cool. What the hell?
Use the Warrior's Infernal Cry skill to make your enemies explode.
I think the sponsor link will probably start working on the
Or use Seismic
patch
Cry to stun your
release.
enemies and double up the number of slams you do.
We usually have this exact problem every update.
You can even use it with Ancestral Call, a skill that turns you into the fire god Cow. Ever wondered what the Karui god of war would look like if he was a bear? Well,
The
wait no longer.
Karui god of war. Isn't that who we
Finally,
fought
build up enough
in?
rage and you can use one of the bear's ultimate abilities.
That sounds familiar.
Walking Calamity. This skill summons a storm of fire around you for some time, while generating even more rage to power your other abilities.
Are you kidding
the true
me?
Bear Apocalypse. Now the bear
The
is known for being a slower, and
Bear-pocalypse?
more lumbering animal, with slower attacks and heavy slams. But what if you want to turn into something a little more nimble?
The werewolf, the
Well, let's
werewolf,
check
the
out
werewolf, the
second
werewolf, the
animal form
werewolf.
for the druid, wolf form. For the
I'm
wolf form, we want you to
morbing
go fast
out.
and furious. Even just the wolf's basic attack will leap forward and rake his foes. After attacking, the wolf stands up on two legs, but after running for a short time, he goes back on all fours, allowing to move more quickly between packs of enemies. The wolf has a lot of cold attacks based on his association with the moon. And the first
Wow.
of these is Lunar Assault.
Wow.
It's great for freezing your enemies in place. After they're frozen, use your basic rake attack to knock shards of ice off your enemies, which land on the
Wow.
ground nearby and explode. If you want to get into battle quickly, you can use your pounce attack. This skill leaps at a target and applies a mark to them. Killing the
Now
marked
this just
enemy
makes
will
me
summon a
want
wolf moon
moon
into your side,
cells.
allowing them to fight with you. Mark and kill as many enemies as you can to build up a sizable pack. While an enemy is marked, your wolves will prioritize that target and do more damage the
Bro,
more wolves
we
you
have a pack
so
of
make sure you keep your pack
wolves.
strong.
It's like
Now, one problem
semi-summoner.
you might run into is your wolf pack dying in boss fights.
No.
You often don't have any enemies that you can mark and kill in order to regenerate your pack. To deal with this
No,
problem,
lone
you can
wolf.
use Cross Slash. Cross Slash jumps backwards and does a vicious double slash. Any marks on your target explode and triggers their abilities. This allows you to pounce to mark an enemy and then summon a wolf even without killing it.
Okay,
Cross
GGG, I
Slash also
see
has another
you.
feature though. Remember those ice fragments from before? Well, Cross Slash will propel any ice shards on the ground towards its central target. First, freeze your enemies with Lunar Assault. Then rake them to create as many ice fragments as you can. Then
Jesus
follow up with Cross Slash
Christ.
to generate a field of icy explosions to obliterate your enemies.
Oh my god.
If they're still alive after that, your pack of wolves can finish them off.
It's so nimble. It's so agile.
Just like with the bear's raw skill earlier,
Oh my God,
that
show us
allows
the
you to use
dragon.
skills from other
Show us the
classes,
wyvern.
Pounce is also a meta gem that you can socket mark skills from other classes into. So for example, you might want to try adding Freezing Mark from the monk to Pounce.
Show us the
After pouncing
wyvern.
at an enemy, Cross Slash to explode the mark and gain extra cold damage for a time. The wolf has many other ways to go all in on cold though. Using the Arctic Howl Warcry will allow you to add cold damage and chilled ground to any slam, while buffing your pack of wolves as
The
well.
pack of wolves
You can
is
also
so
use it to freeze
cute.
enemies that are close to being frozen, making it much faster to use your other combos. Finally, the
So
wolf
when do we
also
get
has
to
the ability
transform
cool down the power of the
into
moon to
have it?
transform into an Arctic
Whoa!
werewolf with Lunar Blessing.
What the
In this
hell?
form, you move and attack more quickly and deal extra cold damage. Consuming Rage will extend the duration of your Arctic wolf form.
That was actually
so you
so
could try
cool.
a hybrid bear and wolf
That was
build if you want to
aesthetic.
utilize the skill to its full effect.
That was aesthetic AF. That was maximum aura farm.
All right, let's talk about the third form available to the druid, and I think it's a cool one, the wyvern. The wyvern has a number of long-range breath abilities, but that doesn't mean you can't get into melee range when you want to. The basic attack of the wyvern is ranged. Jump forward into combat and slash your enemies with your lethal talons. If they're close to being stunned, you can blow them off balance with a blast from your wings, causing an explosion of damage.
It's so
After the
cool.
battle, though, it's time to feed. Devour the corpses of monsters to create power charges, And this is when the Wyvern's abilities really come online. When using Rend, you can consume a power charge to charge up your wings with lightning. Not only does this do a
Lightning
bunch of damage,
Wyvern.
but it allows you to turn this melee skill into a much larger AoE attack.
Good lord.
Once your wings are charged, your Wing Blast will also do lightning explosions for even more damage. If your enemies are close to death, no need to wait for them to actually die. When you see this blue marker, just devour them alive. Fresh meat is much tastier after all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
So those are some melee options. But how about range? Well, you wouldn't be much of a dragon if you couldn't breathe fire after all. Rolling Magma is the first of the Wyvern's breath attacks. Spit balls of fire that bounce along the ground.
And it leaves a
These
fire
balls will trigger
ball or
volcanoes
fire
as well. So it's a good idea to cast one
ground.
as a human right before you start spitting.
Wow.
But that's not all you can spit. You have something a little
Oil?
nastier
Oil?
in that gullet of yours.
It's a
Spitting
bit
a barrage
nasty,
of
isn't
oil
it?
at your enemies will cover them in a viscous sludge that makes
Oh,
them
that's
easier to ignite.
nasty.
If you have power charges, though,
That's
plant your wings on the
disgusting.
ground and vomit a barrage of lightning-infused projectiles. The more power charges you have, the longer you can do this for. But make sure you keep your foes at range. You're vulnerable to melee attacks while channeling this skill. In order to help with that, let's take a quick diversion back to some of your human abilities. As a druid of Scoth, you have the ability to harness the power of nature
The
to create entangling
vines.
vines to slow down your enemies.
Yeah.
Another of nature's
yeah.
punishments is the thunderstorm. Creating one of these will create periodic strikes of lightning from the sky, and will also make your enemies
Yeah.
wet.
Yeah.
Why is that useful? Well, of course, things that are wet are easier to shock. Use it with lightning
Okay.
damage from your wyvern form to enhance your damage. Making things wet also makes them easier to freeze, so it works
Oh,
nicely with your wolf
I'm
form as
kidding.
well.
I'm kidding. This is sponsored.
And you know what else
Sponsored.
likes water?
Sponsored.
Plants. Water your plants to give them various extra abilities.
What?
Use lightning storm with entangle
Okay,
to
and
make
I'm
them
sold.
last
I'm a
longer and attach
spellcaster.
more
We're a
vines to each
spellcaster
enemy,
druid.
slowing them further.
What? That is
Summon
so
thrashing
cool.
vines to slam
Oh
at your
my
enemies for a
god.
time. Any that are created
Water
in
your
water will be
dang
larger and
plants.
deal more damage.
We're a farmer. Farmer build incoming.
Now then, with our enemies sufficiently subdued with our plants, time to really lay into them with our lightning-infused barrage.
Water build incoming.
Now,
Farmer
this
build
last wyvern ability is just
incoming.
ridiculous, but we felt like we had to do it. Use flame breath to take to the skies and rain down a stream of fire on your enemies. You have wings, so you have to take full advantage of them after all. So fly around and burn in it.
Okay, no, that's cool. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Is he burning the literal wheat around him? Wait, that's insane.
Now, there are a few other skills we didn't cover, but there's one in particular that I think will open up a lot of builds. Spell totems. Spell totems are metagems that let you create a totem that will automatically cast any spell in the game for a time.
Spell
In order to create one,
totems.
you will need to spend 3 endurance or 3 power charges. You could use them to throw fireballs, summon comets, or shower the area in lightning.
Dang, the spell
Really,
totals
the
look
options
cool.
are kind of endless. Your bear form can easily generate endurance charges by consuming rage, and your wyvern form can easily create power charges by eating corpses. So it's pretty easy for the druid to get the charges needed, but they're also available from quite a few other places as well. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of different spellcaster classes thinking
I'm
about how
gonna be a
best to take advantage of
goddamn
these.
farmer. I'm a
Now, of course,
goddamn druid
along with the new
farmer.
class comes a bunch of new support gems. We've added over 30 new supports throughout the game, but I'll show you a few of the cooler ones here. Fan the Flames can be added to any wind skill to spread fire from one ignited enemy to the other enemies behind them.
Wow.
It's great for the Wyvern's Wing Blast. But you can also use it on many other classes with wind skills, like the Twisters on the Huntress,
The
or the Monk's
Twister.
Staggering Palm Projectiles.
Oh, good lord.
Accelerated growth causes extra explosive plants to erupt from the ground whenever you grow plants with rain.
Ooh.
And Advancing Storm changes storm
Oh my
skills like
gosh.
the Thunderstorm
My
or Tornado
farmer
to move
life.
across the battlefield. It's great for
We
watering
out here
plants en
playing
masse,
Stardew Valley.
or to turn tornadoes into a real disaster by sucking up multiple ground effects as they travel along. And the Sorceress might like to use it with Firestorm as well.
That's
Echoing
crazy.
Cry causes your Warcry skills to echo. They will repeat a couple more times with a delay after you use them, giving you more empowered attacks. Use it for the Druid's animal form Warcries, or on the Warrior for a nice power boost.
Ready for the 0
Grounding
DPS
shocks
Quinn
causes
Bear
monsters
build.
you shock to turn into living Tesla coils, arcing lightning to nearby enemies. You could use it with your empowered wings for an extra damage boost, but it's also great with any other shocking skill. Try it out with Lightning Spear. It obviously needed more AoE clear. There's a whole pile more.
In before everyone just plays, what's a Deadeye? What's a...
Now with a new class comes new Ascendancy classes.
Oh,
the Druid will have two options for now, with the third being released later. The first class is the Shaman. The Shaman channels nature's elemental fury and can harness rage as a spellcaster, unifying his animalistic and magical tendencies. By allocating Druidic Champion, you gain spell damage the angrier you are. And with Furious Wellspring, you generate rage continuously and can spend it to empower your spells.
Ooh.
With the knowledge of the Asmerian Magi, the Shaman can harness untapped power from runes and idols. After allocating Wisdom of the Magi, you will notice that all runes and idols have extra mods only available to the Shaman.
That's beautiful.
These new mods unlock countless new possibilities for enhancing your build.
That's gorgeous.
You can also allocate Bringer of the Apocalypse, allowing you to become a walking natural disaster. After dealing enough elemental damage, storms of all elements rain around you, destroying all who would face nature's fury.
Wow.
There are other abilities for the Shaman, but I'll just show a few from each class for now.
Bro, this is just a...
The other Druid Ascendancy is the Oracle. The Oracle perfected the power of foresight and utilizes this in combat to gain massive advantage.
The art is so
when taking
nice.
Fateful Vision, you will see visions of your future self using specific skills. If you decide to follow this path by using the skill yourself, it will do significantly more damage.
Oh.
And with Converging Paths, at a critical moment in battle when a monster is vulnerable to freeze, stun, or electrocution, the Oracle can use Moment of Vulnerability to see a vision of the enemy's future and then merge it with the current timeline, allowing him to deal damage to both.
Oh my god, that's
And
literally
one
the
of my
Duchess from
favorites, when you first
Night
become
Rain.
an Oracle, you'll notice over 130 new extra passives appear in the Druid section of the
You're
tree.
lying, what the
By
hell?
allocating the Unseen Path, you use your power of foresight to learn from alternate futures and gain skills that would otherwise be unavailable to you.
More tree!
For example,
I love tree.
self-sacrificing allows you to be able to summon more minions by reducing the spirit costs, with the trade-off of making your reservation skills cost more spirit. Or Corruption Endures, which allows oracles to have a small chance to avoid death.
And
Both
that's
the
just
Druid
from the
Ascendancies offer interesting
Oracle?
and unique ways to gain modifiers that no other classes can get. So we're
Oracle can
expecting
be a
huge
summoner
variety of build
too.
possibilities from these. Now there are unique talismans for the Druid to use as well. We won't spoil all of them, but this one was particularly cool. Fury of the King turns your bear form into a fire demon,
What the
converting most of
hell?
your damage to fire. As a demon, you can also use Molten Crash, a jumping slam attack that leaves fissures around you.
Oh
This
my
unique also
god.
continuously grants
Unique
glory,
bear
allowing you to use your
form.
ultimate abilities more easily. Now, of course, the Druid isn't the only thing we're adding to 040. We still have a bunch more to show. With every new release, we create a new league with new mechanics, new pinnacle bosses, and with a new story to tell. And this time is no exception. So let's roll the
my God.
trailer for the fate of the Val.
Act 5. Act 5.
The palace
Act 5,
of
6.
Queen Atziri. It is a ruin, but in the dark, machines still churn.
Adiri. The Druid just seems like a way better spellcaster than the Sorceress.
And with it,
I ain't gon'
a
cap.
chance to save the Val. A gateway through time. Travel into the past, again and again. Alter the temple. Uncover its
What the hell is
secrets.
this map? What am I looking at?
You will be rewarded for your sacrifice. And somewhere
That is disgusting. Oh my gosh. They're like meat grinding humans.
awaits.
My queen.
I beg of you, hear me. The beast cannot give you what you desire.
You may have studied it, Doriani. But you do not
Dorian.
know
Oh
it
wow.
like I do.
Oh. Okay. No, we. Oh.
Adores
Oh.
Come now, give unto me your desire. At last, fulfill my soul.
Oh, I'll fulfill something. All right. Her soul,
I'm Mark
obviously.
Roberts,
We're
game director
sponsored,
on Path of
weirdos.
Exile. In the Fate of the Vaal League, you will find remnants of the ancient Vaal civilization scattered throughout Rayclast.
They seem to attract nearby creatures and affect them strangely. After killing them, the remnant
Are we
appears to
killing
gain some
children?
amount of power,
What?
but not enough to fully activate it.
Okay.
It seems you will need to find 5 more of these arcane devices, and sacrifice the monsters you find there to fully activate one. But things don't always go to plan. These devices are old, and sometimes infected by corruption.
Infected.
Twisted versions of ancient Vaal
Infection.
may emerge, and sometimes even stronger foes. On fully activating one of the devices, you finally discover its true purpose. A portal opens and takes you deep underground to a lost temple,
Infection.
once the home of Atziri, Queen of the Vaal. What treasures could still be inside? I think you're gonna want to find out. In front of the entrance is a console of some kind, and on activating it, you can see a map of the temple. Atziri's
What
personal
the?
chambers are on the
this
far
is
side.
like.
But
Is
how
this
could
like
anyone get there?
PoE 1?
There are disconnected rooms,
think PoE
and the
1 did
layout
something
doesn't seem
like
to make
this.
sense. And that's when you realize the purpose of the ancient devices scattered through Rayclast. The temple is powered by
Oh,
sacrifice.
wow.
And this energy can be used to modify the very structure of the temple itself. Each time you run the temple, you will be given 6 rooms that you can place, allowing you to craft your own dungeon to explore.
That's kind of cool.
Place paths to link up the
I
dungeon.
kind of like
and place
that.
rooms beside them full of precious loot.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
After you are happy with your choices, open the temple and discover the results of your efforts. Each room contains different challenges along with its rewards. On entering a room, the doors will slam shut behind you and you will need to face the encounter within. But choose wisely. It's important where you place the rooms to get maximum returns.
Maximum damage.
For example, when placing a commander, you could just place it anywhere along an existing path, but a much better strategy is to place it next to a garrison of troops for him to command.
Oh, so you get more loot.
With
Smart.
better leadership, the garrison will level up, making the monsters harder, but also more rewarding. Different rooms have different requirements for leveling up. For example, if you want to fully level up a smithy, you will need to supply it with golems from an
I
adjacent
kind of
golem
like
works,
this feature.
and hook up a generator to the power network to supply it with power. After doing so, the golems will be powered up, making them much more dangerous. You don't need to memorize what interacts with what. When selecting a room, you will be shown the locations that will make other rooms level up, and exactly what effect it will have on the temple.
As long as I don't need to do tower defense, I'm good. I'm good.
After running the temple, a few of the rooms will destabilize and be removed. It will be up to you to rebuild the temple, adding 6 more rooms each time you come back, making the temple larger and
Next
larger
update, no.
and larger. So, that's the basic functionality of
We
the
have to
temple.
fulfill the map
But
to
there is a
fulfill
lot more.
Atziri's soul.
Once Doriani finds
that
out
looks
about
like a
your travels
new-
to Laraval, he will attempt
That
to
looks like a
persuade
new
you to take
skill.
on a new mission. The temple entrance contains a prototype of the
Or
time
maybe
portal
that
device.
that's
It will be able to take you back in time, but only to one specific point. Right before Atziri triggered the cataclysm that destroyed the Vaal. He requests that you go back and attempt to stop Atziri to prevent the Vaal from ever being
Atziri.
destroyed.
I want to know what more of the Druid uniques are going to be like.
Atziri is on the far side of the temple, so you will need to expand the temple significantly to get to her. And even worse, her chambers can only be unlocked by a room that isn't currently accessible to you.
God
In order to
dang
deal
it.
with that, you are going to need to visit the architect of the temple. To get to him, you will need to place path rooms. But while doing so, you will probably want to exploit
He's
some of
playing
the Vaal
Mahjong
technology
right now.
only available in the past. Once you can
He's
travel
playing Solitaire.
into the past, a whole new set of rooms are available to you, and they have some pretty insane rewards. At level 1, the corruption chamber can be used to corrupt a single item.
Astramentis.
But placing it next to a thaumaturge to run the place, and a sacrificial chamber to provide soul energy, you'll be able to level it up. And it's worth it. Because once you get the room to level 3, there are some very nice rewards to be had.
Like what?
In a level 3
Like
corruption
what, John
chamber, you will
GGG?
find this mysterious device. It has a slot to place an item, and it only accepts items that are already corrupted. What will happen to them? Well, normally once an item is corrupted, you can't modify it any further.
Right.
But this device allows you to corrupt your item a second time, adding another enchantment. This has the capability to craft
Okay,
some
that's
very powerful
broken.
items
What
indeed.
the hell?
But be warned, the Vaal are all about taking risks in the pursuit of power. There is a 50% chance that the item will be destroyed.
Oh, hell no. Imagine you buy... Oh, hell no. Imagine you just buy your... After saving so many divs.
Each room has its own interesting mechanics
And then it just breaks.
and rewards when it levels up. Many of them contain bosses to fight, special drops, and in many cases, new crafting opportunities.
Gem Corruptor.
For example, a level 3 alchemy lab has a nasty Vaal construct
When
to
do we
fight.
get to see Elon break
But if
all
you
of
can
his
defeat it,
gear?
you can find new
He's still in the
corrupted
tutorial
souls.
right now. So...
Like Guatalizi's Thesis, which on boots allows you to sacrifice your life to run faster. Or Sita Qualottl's Thesis, which on gloves will revive one of your minions whenever an offering expires.
Ooh, cool. Oh, that's actually so
Get the
perfect for...
sacrificial chamber to level 3, and you will need to face a highborn priest of sacrifice. Defeat him to be able to further corrupt a Vaal unique, modifying it in unpredictable ways. One of the mods of this unique will be removed and replaced with another random mod.
Random.
For example, this Soul Mantle. It gives you an additional totem, but lowers your totem's life and curses you when they die.
Oh,
By
okay.
using the machine, this could result in a terrible item if you remove the good mod, but also some amazing items if you replace the downside.
Wait, that's insane.
Now, one extra thing to mention about these Vaal crafting machines.
That's
You
actually
don't
so
have to
freaking
take the items you
insane.
want to craft into the temple. If you don't have the item you want to craft with you at the time, then clicking this button will allow you to create a currency item instead, allowing you to do the craft later or trade
There's
it
so
if you
many
want.
different crafting.
Now, there are all sorts of interesting rooms you can find in the temple, but the last one I want to show you today is the Flesh Surgeon. A Vaal Flesh Surgeon can be leveled up by placing him next to a high-level synth flesh lab.
Bro,
But
there's so
be
many
careful.
crafting that you're even
The Flesh
crafting your own
Surgeon has
map.
some rather unpleasant experiments in his personal
Oh.
lab. Afterwards, you might notice the surgery table just sitting there. The Vaal are great at crafting items. Why not do some crafting on yourself? After laying down,
yeah.
you'll be asked which limb you'd like to replace.
Oh.
Left arm, perhaps a
Oh.
right leg.
Oh.
Each
Okay.
limb can get a different set of random bonuses.
Okay.
So choose wisely. After getting up from the table, try out your new limb. It seems to work fine, and
What
even
about
perform
my
better than your normal one.
extra limb? Can I modify that
There's
one?
just one thing with replacing body parts. If you die and are resurrected, your body will return to its natural state. You might need to return to the Vaal Surgeons if you want another robot arm, and maybe get a better one next
BBL
time.
build incoming.
Some rooms, like the Commander, can give you a new type of reward. Medallions that can be used to manipulate the temple in other ways. Using a Queeper-Lartl's medallion will allow you to artificially boost a room, even if it doesn't meet the normal requirements to level up. And a Huatalotli's medallion will stop rooms from destabilizing when you complete
Medallion.
a temple, allowing you to guarantee getting a reward a second time.
Oh, okay.
Great if you want to stock up on double corrupts.
Wonder how hard
Now,
the
with all
building your
that
map is
aside,
gonna be.
Time to face the Architect, and you will be in
So
for
you
a
can
fight.
open the chambers to Aziri's
Once defeated,
Soul
you will find another
for
console that
soul.
can be used to modify the temple. But this one is special. It allows you to place new types of rooms with specific rewards. There are rooms with specific uniques, special runes, and currency. But also a few other, more niche crafting experiments. Like this one, that can extract the socket balls back out of an item, at the cost of destroying it.
Now, something really important is every league we release a significant amount of content for the in-game. In order to make sure that the Fate of the Veil works well for late-game players, we've added many mechanics to make sure that you can scale the difficulty and rewards to match.
Getting some rooms to level 3 adds extra mods to the entire dungeon, and these stack with each other. So in endgame, when you can get some really big temples, you can generate a
dungeon
challenge
is gonna
that
be
can
really
even
fun
match
to
the
run,
strongest of
actually.
characters. We also start to
This is the
introduce
endgame
ways to
content,
store up
right?
energy for the temple, allowing you to save up many runs so you can do them later at your leisure, and not interrupt your mapping too often. Now in each league, it's important that we have a new pinnacle boss to test your character's
New
might.
pinnacle boss!
In the Fate of the Vaal, you will get to face Adzeri while she was at the peak of her power. One of the rewards you will gain by defeating the Architect is the ability to place the Royal Access Chamber. Once connected to your temple, you can visit it to finally reach the Queen of the Vaal herself. This fight takes place at a critical moment in history.
Why does it look like an
right
alien's
as
in there?
Adzeri communes
Her
with the beast's power
boobies!
and takes her true corrupted form.
Awooga! Oh my god, it has
Now,
physics too.
we're not going to show you the whole fight, but we will tempt you with one of the rewards. This is Adzeri's rule.
Whoa!
This stuff gives additional levels to all of your corrupted gems
Wow!
and lets you trade life for extra damage.
Okay, that's cool.
But in addition to that, while using the staff, mirrors of refraction will constantly appear on the battlefield.
Well, stop.
Any projectile you fire at these will split into a nova, and they can chain from one to the other.
That's pretty cool.
So, that's the Fate of the Vaal League. But we are also bringing the previous league, Rise of the Abyssal, into the core game, along with a few changes.
Now, for those of you who haven't seen what happens when a league is over, it's important to understand that you will not be seeing abysses in every area anymore. Rise of the
I
Abyssal
really
is
like
now
the
one of the
Abyssal.
league mechanics that can show up randomly in endgame.
Yay! I love the Rise
If you
of
want
the
to specialize in
Abyssal.
running abysses, there is now a tablet that will allow you to add them to any map you run.
I think my
can
least
also
favorite
craft
was
the
the
tablet
freaking wisps.
to add abyss-specific mods to enhance how they function. Now that Abyss is core, it also needs its own Atlas tree. You can gain your first points by completing an Abyss. But there are more available for doing depths and killing certain bosses. And there are a bunch of different options.
I'm so excited. I want
You
to play
might
Druids
just
so
want more
bad.
monsters and bosses. But you can also make finishing an Abyss have a chance to overrun a nearby map with the Abyssal. Or make your Waystone modifiers also apply to Abyssal depths. You could specialize in the interaction with other leagues, or specialize in a specific Abyssal faction. One of the important elements that we have heard loud and clear is that needing to do Abyss crafting on Waystones is quite annoying. So, we have removed that.
Okay, wow.
In fact, we have
So
removed
we simply
instilling
just deleted it
Waystones
from
as
its
well.
existence.
This mechanic felt mandatory on maps because it boosted the value of all other content. But it was
Yeah,
both
valid,
annoying
though.
to do and resulted in a lot of visual clutter.
Valid.
Instead, we are bringing back some of that power on tablets, which you don't need to craft nearly as often, since they last for 10 maps each.
Oh, thank God.
Once you defeat the Arbiter of Ash, you will be able to upgrade tablets to a rare with 4 mods using regular currency. Even this isn't enough to fully bring back the power you could have gotten from instilling, so we have also buffed the bonuses that tablets give. Going forward, we're not going to be adding
Path
any
of
more crafting
tablet.
directly to Waystones outside of the basic currency, because it adds too much micromanagement. But on that note, Fate of the Val does bring the ability to corrupt your tablets, hoping to get one of many different random outcomes. Now, with regard to Delirium Fog, even though you shouldn't have to have it on every map anymore, we still did want to make it less visually annoying. Delirium Fog has been toned down significantly, so you won't feel like you're just playing in a sea of grey. Another big source of problems in the endgame is the feeling of getting overwhelmed with monsters. In 031, we reduced the number of monsters in early endgame in order to help with this.
What? But I like the monster
to previous
density.
levels by the time you got to tier 15. Well, after
I
letting
love
this
a
simmer
lot
for
of
a while,
monsters,
we
though.
are still getting this kind of feedback. So we are no longer going to scale up the number of monsters you go as you get deeper into the endgame. Instead, we are scaling up the difficulty and rewards by the same amount. So to be clear, instead of increasing the number of monsters by 40%, they will instead drop 40% more items, grant
okay.
40% more experience,
I guess I don't mind
and have
that.
40% more life.
That's huge.
In addition to all the normal scaling they get due to being higher level. This only applies to regular monsters, not bosses. We have also reduced the speed modifiers that monsters can get sometimes, which also helps a lot with this.
Now, we did have a large amount of content for endgame planned for 040, but unfortunately we just didn't get time to finish it. The scope was a bit too large, and so we would need to wait until 050 for that.
When
But rest
it's
assured,
050.
there will be a ton of upgrades for the existing leagues, as well as new pinnacle bosses, and a significant overhaul to the Atlas passive tree coming soon.
Ooh.
Now, another problem that becomes a much bigger issue in the endgame is game performance. And we have done a lot of work
Wait.
here. The primary issue is CPU load. And to
Optimization
address that,
in my
a
Path
lot
of
things have
Exile?
been optimized. And we have done a lot of work to
But-
take advantage of more of your CPU cores.
But
You should see frame rates of at least 25% higher, and a lot less bad frame spikes during gameplay. It does make quite a big difference, especially on consoles. A lot more work in this area is ongoing, and you will continue to see performance improvements over the next few months.
Of course, another important area is game balance, and we have made a lot of changes. Now, most of these we will save for the patch notes, but I'll do a quick summary of some of the numbers.
And then at the end they reveal Paladin,
As well as adding 11 new unique
Templar.
items, we have rebalanced dozens of others that are not currently used very often. We've also done a pass over lineage supports. 21 of them have been rebalanced, as well as adding 9 more. Alongside the 2 new Druid ascendancies, we have made balance changes to almost all the others, with some of them getting a grander rebalance, such as the Smith of Katava.
Is Smith of Katava
Alongside the
good?
20 plus new Druid skills, we've also rebalanced 90 other active skills across all the different classes. And to top it all off, there are also over 250 new passive skills added to the passive tree.
250? Yeah,
These
no, that's
changes should
cool.
go
Yeah,
a
that's
long
cool.
way to increase the viability of many more skills, uniques, and overall build variety that can tackle our most challenging content.
Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs. Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Precursor and Kalgurin packs.
The
Each tier contains the pack's
precursor.
full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Precursor series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
Wow.
First up, the
Wow.
Marble Statue character effect. Once you finally stay still for a moment, a podium rises up out of the ground to immortalize you, turning your skin to marble. When you
Okay.
next move, the stone crumbles around you.
Okay.
The Precursors had mastery over gravity manipulation. So too can you, now with the Gravity Well portal. Witness the power of its pull as you approach it.
Wow.
Hi there, Yuzu. How
Draw
are you
in
doing?
enemies with your
And
own
how is
gravitational
the
pull
stream
with the
going?
awakened
And
precursor
in case you
armor
haven't
set.
heard it today, you are super cool and
The
cute, and you
precursors
have a
designed
lovely
and built
voice and
many
have
mysterious
sunflowers,
ancient
rose
beings.
I take you.
This one
hyacinth
used to serve as a
emoji,
scout
tulip
that would
emoji,
patrol and
hibiscus
tase
emoji,
intruders.
lotus emoji,
Why
and
salvage
mustard
gear
on the
yourself
beat home
when the
mustard.
Master of the Forge can do it
Yep.
for you?
Take you, man.
Molten gold spills out as the Forge Master breaks down your items. The Relic of the Precursor's map device is a mysterious machine that sits atop ancient colossal statues. It keeps track of the number of charges consumed on your Precursor tablets used in the device.
That's
The
cool.
Kalguran Pack series also
Oh,
contains
Lord.
6 exclusive microtransactions.
Good lord.
The Kalgurans had astounding skill in astronomy, being able to track cosmic events with
Whoa.
absolute precision. Harnessing that skill, with the astronomer's level up effect equipped, you too can now see exactly how long it took you to level up as it outputs the time in chat.
Wow.
The time taken to reach your last 3 levels is also displayed on the item, so you can link it when you have a time you're proud of. Crush unique enemies by unleashing the wrath of the lost Kalguran fleet, led formerly by Captain Heartland himself. A Kalguran seafarer needs armor fit for the
Pirates.
treacherous seas of Rayclast.
I
This
think
set
I'm
has
still
you
gonna
covered
use
with the
my
classic tricorn
my
and,
floaty
of course,
outfit,
a pig leg.
the one that levitates.
The lost treasure weapon skins top off your appearance of a true
Ew,
raider of the
that's
seas.
nasty.
These gilded weapons can be applied to wands, two-hand maces, and shields.
Okay, the shield looks good.
After a long day of plundering loot, retreat to the Kraken's Cove hideout, a home of some of the most deadly ocean-dwelling creatures in Rayclast. Many ships have met their demise here. What
When are we
better to
gonna get a
accompany you in
cosmetic where
Kraken's
we're
Cove
just at
than a
Siri,
kraken
but we're
itself? Replace
before
your
she
stash
turns
with a dormant
into
kraken
her prime?
waiting for its prey. As you approach, it will awaken and terrify both you and any guests in your hideout. Alongside this, an extra stash skin item will be granted to you, and when placed, will automatically open to any stash tab set with the currency affinity, to help
It's
having
so
to navigate
creepy
through your tabs.
looking.
Additionally, any microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1.
Thank you very much for all your ongoing support. We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D.
Okay,
Afterwards, At
Q&A.
11 a.m. NZ time, we'll post the patch notes. With
The
release at
patch
the end of
notes
next
being
week,
released
our community team
today?
will be posting crucial information you'll need for the release. Keep an eye on the news.
The
Thanks for
patch
joining us
notes
today and checking
today?
out our latest developments. We're looking forward to playing alongside our
That's
fellow
not
shape-shifting
normal.
exiles. All while
Oh, they
uncovering
confident.
Lost Vale
They
secrets
confident.
by doing some dungeon crafting. We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your questions ready.
Oh my gosh, wait, that actually makes it so much better. I can, because I hated waiting for the patch notes, but now I could just read it. I could just read it the day of.
Welcome back, Exiles, to the Q&A portion. I am your host,
Lightning
Ziggy
arrow,
D.
about to
Today we're
get
going to be touching on the design of
obliterated?
the
Yeah,
Druid
sure.
and the fate of the Vile League.
Sure,
We'll get
dude.
some community questions. Then we'll deep dive into endgame, balance,
They
and
freaking
other
love
game design topics.
Lightning
I am, of
arrow.
course, joined by game directors Jonathan Rogers and Mark Roberts. How you guys going today?
Oh, very good. I mean, you know, it's been a great one to work on, this one. Like, I've really enjoyed it. So yeah, it's definitely great to see you again. And it feels
It's
like
time
it's
for
only been
some
like
math today.
no time at all since the last time you were here with the PoE1 release.
It feels like
It's
only
funny because like when I'm addicted to a
We
game,
get to see you twice as often
when I'm
now, so
brain
that's
rotting
fine.
over a
around
game,
every 2 months
I
or
have
so.
no problem doing math, and I can do math like kind of good. But then when it comes to anything else, my math skills are just non-existent.
I think one of the issues that we have is like we're so concentrating on like just demonstrating how the mechanics work that we sort of forget to be like, okay, let's actually make sure the damage numbers that we're doing on this like test character we're filming here are actually like in line with what people actually normally expect. So yeah, there's just a few things there that we probably should have caught and made a little stronger there. But yeah, when you actually play it, it's certainly from the alpha feedback incredibly
Bro,
powerful.
we
Like,
actually
you know,
get
the,
we
you know,
actually
listening to
get
people say, oh, yeah, the wolf
Druid
looks weak or whatever. Well, I can
on
assure
the
you that in alpha, there's
12th.
a
We
second
get
wolf is
Druid.
So,
How many days is that? How many
to
days?
the things you go through in order to demonstrate stuff.
I think we probably going to be
In
worthwhile. We
8
make some videos
days.
showing a bit more
In
of
8 days,
less
guys.
demonstratey side and get them posted and stuff this week. Because honestly, you can just play it literally right now, and it's
Yeah,
I'm
I've definitely
surprised
been
that the
playing
endgame
and
isn't really
recording
getting
it
anything
myself,
this
'cause I was
patch. Like I
when
thought
first
there would
watched
be
it as well, the draft,
something
I was
more.
thinking- It's like I don't really get a feel for
They-
what it feels like to actually.
They did mention that it didn't. There was gonna be more endgame content, but they just didn't finish it in time for this particular update. So it'll end up in 0.5. I guess like the only really new endgame content is the map and the pinnacle, but yeah.
As a result, yes, it can look a bit weak, but
Yeah, I think we'll try and get some like raw
I think the-
Druid gameplay out to people.
I think the new map
particularly for this class,
will
because
be
of the
kinda
shape-shifting
fun.
stuff. It's so hard for us to. Normally, we can look at something and be like, "Oh, that's just a demonstration." We kind of know what it would look like at endgame. But I think with the Druid, it's just so unusual. It's so different that it's actually hard to judge what it would feel like to even play it.
Sorceress
And,
players
I'm
in
happy
shambles
from
when
my
the
hands-on to
when
say
the
that, like,
Druid
it's almost
comes
immediately,
out.
like very smooth. The shape shifting of it, the movement of it, especially because like in your demonstrations, you're not really using dodge
The
rolls,
shaman
that sort of
and
thing
the
as well, which makes a
the
big difference.
foresight
I suppose one of the things we didn't really
oracle
dwell on in the
seems
video as
super
well is that we do
strong.
actually have dodge roll. I mean, they're not actually rolls for the animals, but yeah, all the animals can like
and
hop
flaps
around and that kind of stuff. And that was honestly one of those things that was like kind of funny because initially we actually had it so when you dodge roll, you would transform back into a human. And the reason we did that is because it's really hard to make animations for animals that like actually work correctly. Like we actually thought it was impossible, but then when we actually put it on alpha, there was the kind of visceral reaction of I want to still be a bear, like while I'm hopping around. So we ended up having to like work out like how can we make this possible? How can we make it so that you can actually do the dodge rolling as an animal? And that sort of ended up being pretty good, I would say.
And this was like
I'm
clearly the
actually
fastest,
so
like, the
excited
hardest
to
class
be a
design so
farmer.
far,
I
and it
get
took
to use
a bit longer.
nature
Like, I think
spells
we were originally
and
hoping to bring
grow
that
them
in
with my
previous-
rain.
Yeah, quite a while ago. But the thing is with it is that it's kind of like designing 4 classes in one, because not only do you have the situation where, obviously we want to have
Oracle
synergy
will
between
be
skills
niche
and stuff
but
like
strong
that. We can,
depending
like,
on
look at that in a
numbers.
normal class
I
and work
don't
out what those might be.
I don't know because like Oracle unlocks new passives on the tree. Like we literally saw one that literally made it so that you can summon more, like you can have more summons. It makes you your summons cost less reservation. Like there's probably so many other things on the tree that's only available to Oracle that just makes builds super strong.
Also need to have them feel different, and that just made it really, really tricky to get all the things right with it. And then it didn't also help that since the last time we were working on the Druid, way back when we showed it off in Gamescom 2023, we had WSD. And that is a whole other
2023, guys.
because,
We've been
like,
waiting
how
how
can we make
long?
that work with the animal forms? It's like a whole thing. Like I'll tell you the wyvern, for example. Like we had a hell of a time making it so that you could do the ranged attacks because you need to be able to walk while you're doing it. The wyvern's sitting there with its arms like planted on the ground, being able to walk while also spinning.
I was kind of half
we went through so many
expecting
iterations of that. So yeah, it was just a very tricky class overall, like just crazy.
I remember seeing some very goofy looking like wyvern like months and
a
months
more
ago. You were, like, trying to,
plant-like,
Right. Well,
Like,
I also remember, like, for a long time, the wolf was just like a dancing dog. It was just like it looked really silly. And, like, man, the wolf as well. I mean, it was really hard to get right, and because one of the things we really wanted to avoid was I didn't want too much of that whole like man in a wolf suit vibe. Like I wanted to actually get the feeling of like this is an actually different animal, which I think with the bear and the wyvern's way easier. With the wolf, it's like it's really hard not to just go back into that. So we had
I kind of wish they put Bloodline Ascendancies in. That was hella cool in PoE 1. Yeah, the Bloodline. I kind of wish that I played during the. Or actually, did I play during the Bloodline Ascendancies? Maybe I did. I can't remember. I'm not at all harshing on them. Like everything they put out is crazy content, considering it's been just 4 months. I'm saying it still feels a lacking. I think that's valid, but also new characters and classes and skills are just really hard to do, especially with like the animations for someone who changes into other animals. I understand why that would have probably taken a lot of their time.
There's a kind of, which is like honestly, unless you actually click the bear keyword, is like undescribed everywhere.
It was even more than that because I was just looking at it in game before. The bear has like passive endurance charge generation.
Yes, it
from
does.
Rage
So from
expenditure.
rage expenditure, it does.
I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah. So we really wanted to make sure that each of the different forms had things that can benefit the other forms. So like it was really tricky to think like, what are resources that a bear can generate? What are the resources that wolf can generate? What are the ones the wyvern can generate that the other ones can then
Let's
use?
just have it generate everything.
So yeah, that's kind of
They
like,
get charges, every charge in existence.
Part of the trickiness.
And that caught me by surprise
For free
as well, because like technically it's mentioned, but I never really fully understood the idea that you can swap between the forms, like human to animal and back. Yeah, I figured that's what's going on here. But you can like leap in as a wolf and then immediately transform.
They could actually, you could actually literally make them. If they passively recharge
someone as far as like what the UI is pushing you towards and all that sort of stuff, like there are going to be a lot of people who are like, I want to be a bear, and they just pick bear stuff and they go all bear, right?
Charges.
But at the same time, we're unconstrained in the sense that you can
give it to like other people in your, if you're playing with another person and they use charges.
From like wolf, bear, or wyvern, what that's giving you is the default attack, right? That's what you're actually picking, and that's all it is, right? And that often will.
I don't think they're releasing Act 5.
You can just use with that same talisman as many different animal skills as you would like, and that just means that you've got that sort of free flowing, like trying out different stuff, sort of combo gameplay that we, like to try and get. Obviously, there will just be a lot of people who just pick one thing, right? Like
Still feels like PoE 1 gets way more dev time and focus from them, while PoE 2 is taking astronomically longer dev time to accomplish any of the things they initially promised. It's probably because PoE 2 requires like
very possible there. But also
new animations. It probably just like is a lot more intensive in terms of development because it's just the higher graphic intense game.
Just one thing isn't way better than everything else.
Right. Well, I mean, it's always tricky.
PoE 1 has like already stabilized in its development. PoE 2 is not as stable.
Stuff, and then you're like, how the hell am I going to balance this? But effectively, like, so even with the spellcaster side, so one of the things we initially wanted with the spellcasting is a lot of it's like over time type effects that, so for example, with the volcano being the really obvious one, right? Like you can create this thing, and then you can turn into an animal and do other stuff.
A lot of it is that they're still figuring out what they want to do. Yeah. They mentioned that they don't want PoE 2 to end up being just another version of 1. They don't want it to be the same thing, so it's just hard to find that direction, especially when they have a player base from 1 wanting a certain thing, and then they have a player base entirely new to Path of Exile that started with 2, and they're also telling them a different thing. So they're being pulled in two different directions.
Hunters have where ground effects can empower it with extra elemental stuff, and so then we're like, okay, well, if the animal forms are the ones that can create the ground effects, then that means that you're kind of like you're going to want to do, like to mix that with the tornado, you now have to have both the animal forms and the spellcaster stuff if you want to get all of that together. So it's just a lot of that thinking about how can an animal form aid a spell, how can a spell aid an animal form, like all the way through. And then, yeah, as I said, we throw it over the fence, and then Mark tries to work out what kind of numbers can actually make it.
It's a web of infinite difficulty, right? Because
I wonder how good the wyvern is going to be, though. The wyvern didn't seem as impressive compared to the other two. The wolf and the bear seem
all the things you can unlock and the crazy builds you can do.
Way cooler, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like this week's focus has been like, okay, we had all the, like during our alpha testing and internal testing, we had like, there was the, I want to be all forms going between. There was the, I just want to be wolf. I just want to be bear. I just
wyvern
want to be
was the
dragon.
coolest in your opinion? Wyvern is lightning.
Nature plant skills and do
lightning always
stuff.
Good in PoE.
So it's like, okay, well, how do we make that work? Well,
I'm glad we have nature skills. I'm so hyped for that.
And it honestly just, it does just spiral into like, oh my god, there's 20 million variables here.
Wait, what kind of element is divines then? Is that like poison damage? What are we?
Then honestly, we're golden. So, I would say we're pretty much there on almost everything with this class. I'd actually say we're a little bit more prepared than normal. We've had a lot of testing.
Yeah.
Despite
they showed a lot of early gameplay. It'll be less clunky in endgame.
But yeah, it's, I don't know, like ultimately pretty fun. I'd say there's still some
I think
obviously there's still more
probably
to do.
one of the harder parts about designing a class is how it feels in the beginning compared to endgame. Because sometimes a class can feel really shit early, like Monk, and then endgame can feel like insanely strong, so powerful. So finding the balance of making it feel good in early game and late game is probably another thing that is difficult to balance.
Exploding, and you're putting extra things on the ground, and they're exploding. There's definitely some boss deletion going on there.
Even just walking past the mini entangles going out, and then there's that plant support gem. I'm like, all right, it's putting the
part of the power fantasy, I guess. Well, you can make a fun class and still be part of the power fantasy. It doesn't have to be shit in the beginning. It doesn't have to feel absolutely terrible to play. It can still be fun.
Thanks, Ziggy. I'm like,
I don't know. I will see where that goes, because I was like, no, that's fine.
This is a fish.
It made it to me, and I was like, no.
Spell totems are back though. Time for me to hide while my totems do all the work. Yeah, that was cool.
Making a pulse, and that's generating rage.
The totems are cool.
It's
fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I love that, because that's like ridiculously powerful. That feels like way permissive. I was like, this feels illegal, but that's.
So I remember playing Chaos in 0.1 as a witch. It wasn't great. It definitely got better within time, but yeah, didn't feel that good.
They might have changed it. I'll find out afterwards. I just throw my opinion in there. I don't want to necessarily be like, you know, I try and make sure with a lot of these balanced discussions.
I'm kind of hoping we get more chaos-related spells, though. I really like the idea of chaos.
Discuss these things through, because maybe it isn't actually fine, but you know, my first instinct is like, yeah, like let it run wild. Like, what's the problem? You know, so
yeah, you gotta.
We'll see what happens.
All right, let's beat around the bush, devs. Come on, tell me that Templar is coming out as well as a shadow release. It's a shadow drop.
I'll see the thing not generating rage, and yeah, let's see that line of text. Now that's the Ziggy line of text.
There will be more chaos when they add shadow decks in class. How many classes left do we have now? Now that Druid is coming out, how many is left to release?
What is the talisman?
Yeah, the animal talisman.
And is there any limitation just kind of like putting that on another class and just say like, I am playing my Mace Marauder or my Quarterstaff Monk, and I want to do a wolf leap slam that marks targets.
You can do it. In fact, it was one of the things initially that it's funny with the audio team, because initially like, oh, we want to record like bear lines for the drill.
Bear lines.
Hey guys, remember, anyone can turn into this animal. You're actually going to commit to every single class.
Oh, that's true.
Three different extra versions of every single line the character.
That's true. That's true.
That's a bit tricky. So we ended up going with a voice mod in the end. But yeah, that was one of those.
It's like their thoughts. I think it shifts to. It almost sounds like, to me, that's what it sounds like. They're like,
they wanted two of each stat combination, and who knows if they'll drop one that uses all three, like Scion from PoE 1.
Exactly. But yeah, effectively, every class can be an animal.
Yeah, so if they ever add one like Scion, it'll be years from now for sure.
But that is actually, how it works, and what allows, having.
Whoa. I didn't even think about that. Wait, so you can use mace skills while in bear?
No. What I meant is that it's the same. I mean, it's the same in the sense that it's just a weapon type, right? Like,
okay.
Damn it, now we have to make that possible.
Center is reserved for Ascendancy display. They do change the tree quite often, though. I wouldn't rule it out.
And I've always maintained the position that you guys want to kind of do that as much as possible initially, and then in the future you can blur the lines a little bit. Like there's maybe in the future you're like, oh, maybe
they've even removed some passives from the tree as well.
A lot of the identity of a weapon type really comes a lot from what it can do, and so that's kind of the main reason why we do it that way. But but the thing is as well, with the weapon swapping, you can still use skills from different elements. Different weapons and things like that.
The thing is, like, it's funny that you mentioned that with the bear, because, like, definitely some of the bears I noticed.
I'm still surprised we don't have the sword, though.
Stuff, and I could see absolutely combining. Like,
I'm still surprised that, like, in a game that's like so fantasy driven, the sword is the one thing that's missing. We don't have a sword. We don't have a sword. We don't have a sword, guys. I just want a damn sword.
Those key elements do like cross over, just so that to open up the way to have synergy between the different classes more easily.
Yeah. Well, as you get more classes and more skills, you obviously get an overlap of the kind of mechanics and keywords and stuff, iterating, and thus they will always cross-synergize. And Where there still will be
Who
new
needs
things
that?
and
We
classes,
got
but there's
dragon.
always gonna be a
Actually,
bunch
it's
of
a
stuff that
wyvern.
use that will
Actually.
then interact with all the other skills.
Actually.
Plants and plants that grow from rain, and there's a plant keyword that has overgrown as a keyword.
Plant.
It's interesting
Plant.
those ones because they're on completely opposite sides of the tree. You've got Dex versus Strengthened, and that's been a little bit hard to kind of like get the where the mechanic should go on one side versus the other. So where we ended up going is that the nature side of things for plants on the Strength Int is like
I'm gonna be a plant person.
Nature like physical damage spells on the.
I'm gonna be a plant person, chat.
Because now it's actually been really fun designing the supports because you know, the more classes we have, the more we can start to think, okay, like here's a support that's for something obscure. How can we make it so this can apply to some other kind of thing on the opposite side of the tree where like now you've got some interesting interaction. So there could be some kind of
This is actually the first class as well that starts in the strength intelligence region.
Something. I mean, like I can't say I've tested
that region was just completely, there was no class that started there. Now we have the druid.
Around like watering the ranger's plants is like a thing. They all have ways that works.
I mean, that definitely opens up interesting party options in the future as well. Like, I do like the idea of being like a rainy druid watering.
It's a thing. It's easily a thing. It's not even hard to do as well.
Right.
It's kind of just like, thanks, druid, you buffed poison rangers.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of just what happened.
Yeah.
Alright, good. Yes, and the rain buffing lightning skills as well, like increasing shock chances. It's pretty,
is rain the only way to get things wet?
One class here. How did you like kind of settle on a identity for the wyvern in particular? I feel like people know what a bear is, people know what the wolf is, and even a lot of the like druid stuff is pre-established as like, oh, you got plants and you got like nature and you got like lifting up the earth, that sort of stuff.
I know of a few other ways. Oh yeah, tell me.
Different from what you'd
what do you
seen in another
mean?
game. I mean, obviously, like every game that's got transformations has the bear and the wolf, right? That's just like the staple. But and actually, for that, funnily enough, for that reason, we couldn't not do it. There was actually a period there where we weren't going to have a wolf because we were a little bit unhappy. Yeah, with us, and it's just like, well, exactly right. That was the reaction. That was the reaction of like all the furries come out of the woodwork and like, you gotta have a wolf.
How dare you?
Yeah, exactly right. So we're like, okay, we'll have a.
Why couldn't we just turn it into a hot,
that was a
cool mermaid
that was a real
hybrid?
So, we decided to go. We needed the two familiar, and then we needed one that was a little bit more out there. And really, when we were looking at the bear and the wolf, it was kind of like we want the slower, harder hitting. We want the faster and like speedy kind of version. Obviously, being the wolf. We also wanted something that had some range elements. And then a sort of more spellcastery vibe a little bit more.
They could have done they could have been like a
ranged. Like it's not really, there's like it's kind of a lot
like an owl
that can really sort of do that. And so
an owl would have been perfect.
I mean, someone of course at one point was like, how about a dragon? And we're like, what the heck? What are you talking about? But,
what the heck?
About it. And it's like, actually, you know what? There's some potential here.
If you suggested to me, I told you not to do it because like there's no way you could make it look good and not look stupid. But
it eventually it was hard though. We did get there.
They literally have like an owl shaman in
it's
in
kind of a spell
the ascendancy
almost. Like,
trial
it's got a bit of
thing.
range stuff, but it's got a bit of like spell kind of melee things going on.
I mean, as it should be for strengthened.
Yeah, and you were asking what the passive buffs were. I was looking at it before. It's like it's got buffs to freeze, shock, and energy regeneration. Actually, like as well, like energy recharge. I think.
It's a shame you knew. The reason I was actually being vague is I knew what they were. I just wanted to change them.
Okay, I mean that's fine. Do something.
Sorry
cool.
for my slight disingenuousness.
Cool.
I kind of feel
You
like
wanted to avoid the owl kinch stick.
Yeah,
I guess so.
It forces you into certain build
like
types. Whereas, like, if they're utility or defensive, that way they will work across all board. That's my general philosophy.
What
So
other
I was like, I
polymorphs
feel
would
I
you
wanted
have
go
want
trying
to see?
design the energy shield thing. I don't mind. I wanted to have a go at designing stuff that's more utility or defensive only.
Bear and
that way you
werewolf
don't
is
feel
just
like,
so
I should
standard
have to
for
play lightning or
druids.
fire because it gets the passive
Right,
benefits.
okay.
That way, if you wanted to do a kind of weird out there thing, it doesn't feel so bad. But we'll see what I come up with.
Do you have an idea, or
Whatever.
are you still figuring it out?
Nah, I got no clue. I don't know. You could
Big
play on
Frog
the fact
could be a
wings
spellcaster.
something defensive for block, or
Snake,
something for
Chimera.
hard carapace maybe, or I don't know, the
There's
fact it has
there's
wings, something to do with the
so
wings,
much dragon
right?
lore to pull from. I
know.
got like a book that my daughter really likes to read that's like full of dragon lore.
Something magical, like a big golem. Maybe something unique.
Dragon, they hoard gold, right? Gold finds.
I don't think druids can technically turn into magical creatures, though.
Pick it up, shapeshift back. No, obviously,
They always turn into like
I'm not doing that.
regular creatures.
Gold find, no, please don't. Mandatory dragon gold find build. I know it's kind of funny though. It's distinctly PoE. So the druid is this like strength int class.
Tell that to the wyvern. Oh, I guess
Templar,
that's
we had
true.
The idea more of like you've got that armor energy shield stuff, but that's still the case here. As that's the strength int.
Dinosaur.
base. But I feel like the energy shield stuff is not as iconic to druid. How have you incorporated that and made it feel like something that makes sense, or like in what ways have you incorporated that to the druid? I feel like it's not obvious.
I think something plant-like would have been a perfect.
There's a little bit off in terms of the feel there, but at
unique
the end of the day, we kind of don't have any
polymorph
options as far as what we can do. I mean, like that, it is important for it to be
like a Spriggan,
that, like armor and energy shield approach.
A tree person.
There's a few sort of interesting, what do you call them, spirit reservation gems? I don't know what I can never remember what the official name of that is. That sort of interact with that stuff in a dual way. So there's like that bark skinned thing that effectively allows you to take advantage of energy shield to generate armor. Like, so when you lose energy shield, you get armor instead, and like it like creates little bits of bark on your skin.
Cool.
As you there's like things like that we've added, but there's a little bit of a
I'm actually really excited for the patch
notes.
notes.
The weirdest part about that is like, yeah, you're gonna have energy shield as a bear. It's a bit strange.
An elk
like,
with plant growth. Isn't an elk like a deer-looking thing?
To be that way.
Well, you don't have to.
Well, I suppose
a dryad, yeah, like a dryad would have been
like
so cool.
Such a range of identities within that one class as well, that you've got the bear maybe that doesn't really align as much with that. There's definitely more armor stuff.
Yeah,
going
so
on
you could build more strength when you depending on what animal form you're playing, of course.
Yeah, whereas like the wyvern potentially has more of that kind of magical aspect to it, where it's like that's
magical.
The wyvern itself does get the benefits to energy shield, and the bear does get the benefits to armor in order to kind of make it so you are like.
Oh, bear has armor, wyvern is
Really,
magic,
it's the tree
energy
that
shield.
and motivates this, right? Like
Werewolf
could
evasion.
be on the bottom side of the tree and still have the same skill set, and obviously the damage nodes are a bit weird, but it could work. There's nothing saying. I mean, that's. Part
Will
of
you
the beauty
play
of
until endgame this time? I do. I literally play. It may not be on stream, but I do play to endgame.
It wasn't as clear.
I do play endgame.
My own lore there a little bit, where I was specking the regen from the druid, and then the zealot's oath right there. I'm like, oh, this actually like. You're converting your natural kind of like life regen into energy. This is kind of the Druids thing.
No, that's not true. That's not
Like,
true.
Keystones certainly are pretty powerful, and we have a bunch of.
In Path of Exile 2, I always go endgame. I always play endgame. PoE 1, I don't really because it's not. Like PoE 1 is still fun, but I have more fun in 2, and I only really have time for 2. So
it was based on what's it called? PoE 1's is it Divine Shield? Is that the name of the keystone? I can't remember.
I'll even show you guys my characters. Like how could I not be playing endgame if I'm like level 80 or 90? You know.
Just because I was like, we need more.
You have to play a certain extent of endgame to reach that level.
One there that is embracing the animal ferocity, where it like what does it do? It's like doubles your maximum rage, but makes you don't get inherent bonuses from rage. So it's like if you really want to do the
you hire an Asian person like Elon. I am the Asian person.
You lose the benefits of rage.
I don't need to hire one.
To rampage around for twice as long. So a few things like that we're trying to add that are thematic as well. And I think that's another one of the really cool parts about adding a class is 1/6 of our tree was just filled with just placeholder garbage. Like actually. Like there's a giant link thing there.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what the hell is that?
It's like what
even is that?
That? It's like and so I was like, well, that looked like a vine, just make that a plant thing.
I'm glad they admitted that, because that was literally the most confusing thing ever.
It's a plant thing that talks about
yay, plants!
They filled in that whole bit of the tree, and guess what? Now witches and sorceresses have more energy shield stuff on that kind of direction around towards the druid, and warrior has more, and and I don't just mean energy shield, I mean everything, all the mechanics, right? All the int mechanics are kind of there. The strength.
I'm so excited.
So it is nice we finally have a class in every different part of this tree.
Yeah,
so
that's exciting.
Yeah, that area of the tree was a little strange. I mean, it's such a massive tree already, and you're adding more to it, and then like I have to wonder, like, you added this Oracle class. Like, I saw the Shaman one, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I expect. But then I saw the Oracle, and you guys had like 130 extra passives. So far. Like, why do you do this to yourself? Like, that seems ridiculous.
It's fun.
Because it's cool.
Okay.
Because it's cool. There really is.
I want.
You could ask for.
I really want it to be easier to stack, to increase your AOE. Because I think in 1 it was easier to do that, but in 2 it just feels like whatever stat or whatever you do to try to increase your AOE is like so minimal. But I guess that's because like most people just run like heralds or like screen wide abilities anyways.
And it was all themed around, you know, if you got to live your life again, what would you change? Like, what different paths would you take? And so it's this interesting, like,
it's an existential crisis as a node.
That fits period.
Initially, I always do.
Volcano plus magma orb looks really good. You cast volcano and then orbs are exploding it.
Passives not yet added to
Full
the
screen
game,
AOE
other than
skills,
just the
yes,
way of
but it's
looking
only
at it.
good for
Not that that's actually
clearing.
how it is, but I thought it was like a kind of.
I just like seeing big
lessons you'd
big
learn here to
AOEs,
now, use in
big
advance. And I thought it
screen
was
or
just
big
a cool thematic thing that linked to the class, and
effects.
it's easy, by the way.
I'm glad now I also don't really feel like I need to pivot to minions because now I'm actually interested in spellcasting. Oh.
Is that really like that's too much time, too much work, right? And I'm just like,
sad, isn't it?
If we say that about everything, you get nothing cool.
Yeah.
And so it's that, and I mean, even the shamans, like runes revealing hidden powers, like we're setting ourselves up for a large amount of cumulative time over a while, right? Any rune we add, anything, like we have to add and consider the shaman stats, and that's another.
Wait, the shamans get the better runes, right? That you can equip on equipment.
And every time we change the tree, and like when we eventually add the Templar,
I think I'm probably gonna choose shaman for sure. I'm definitely gonna be a shaman ascendancy. The Oracle looks good, but I really need to see what type of hidden path passives that it adds.
It's fine, you know. You don't have to, or pick other nodes on the same class. You know, you don't have to take that node. So.
I think this like very clearly communicates that you're also okay with this idea of
they're both magic trees. What are you talking about?
That you're not going to know ahead of time because you can't like look at the class options on the character selection screen and know what the passives.
Yeah, I really need to see more about Oracle.
Ascendancy, right? So it's like, yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
I wasn't that impressed with the Oracle's foresight image of itself, where you cast a spell that it's mimicking.
I actually got my secret abyssal lich.
Yeah.
I think the foresight of the boss enemies are kind of cool though.
And maybe there's more. Well, you want to do more of that, don't you? I can tell. Look at him.
He wants to do
but GGG, where's the Shaw woman?
I love people having cool secret things they can find, and it isn't just like 1000% pre-planned out of the gate. Like, I understand the need to plan. I understand the need to.
I'm glad that the druid also isn't ugly.
You want to go in and only realize you've made the wrong decisions and stuff like that, for sure. But I definitely want to find that balance where you have that.
I hope the Templar isn't bald and has a long giraffe neck. I'm praying.
But we'll try and move on to the other stuff soon because I know.
I'm praying.
Talk about the other thing. I could talk about Druid all day. I think the design's super interesting here. But some of the questions were that I think people are a bit confused about like the talismans and the forms and how that stuff works. So the talismans are effectively just like another weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I think the coolest part about the talismans is like how seamless it is to use.
Because a lot of other games do it where when you change form, like all of a sudden, oh, your weapon's not affecting you, or this thing's not affecting you.
Well, I mean, effectively, so we're doing the changing form by utilizing weapon swap. So you've got 2 weapon sets inherently, and the talisman effectively serves as your weapon. Yeah, like if you're playing a druid, you are going to have to learn how to use.
I hope for old man Templar without pants again.
Yeah. If you want to have the spellcaster and melee thing. Now a lot of the passive.
Isn't Team Cherry also based in New Zealand? GGG needs to do collab with them and put Hornet skin in the game. I would buy that shit if that was like, if that was part of their supporter pack and it was the $500 bundle. I would buy it. I'm actually mad because in Silksong or Hollow Knight, it was in Hollow Knight. They had a patron supporter dono that you could do on their page when they're making Hollow Knight, and if you were a patron that contributed like $1,000, they would put a special area dedicated to you, and they put it in Silksong, but I have yet to see it yet. And there was only one person that did that. There was only one person that did that supporter donation.
Like I have on some other builds, I guess, where it's a bit.
Yeah, mostly that's just because you get into a situation with those where because it's usable on both. Yeah. Now you have to start going in there and tweaking that stuff. But here, because it makes it much simpler when you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, so there's a decent onboarding there, given the potential complexity of that. All right, so we'll move on now to the Fate of the Val expansion. And there's definitely more of a clear divide between the two things, and you even actually made two separate trailers.
Fate of the Ball.
Super weird.
Fate of the Balls.
Things in the trailer. So yeah, in the end we were like, normally of course we'd make one trailer with everything, but we're kind of like, man, it's really hard to unify these two things in a kind of reasonable way. So yeah, in the end we decided to go with two trailers and just show the content completely separately.
They're not connected. Like
not at all, right?
They're not. Aside from both of.
No, New Zealand internet, please.
Having a buttocks in it, they're not connected.
Yeah, why was the Druid and at Siri naked? GGG, explain yourselves. Gooners, Gooner devs.
Yeah, that was great. There's buttocks for everyone here in this trailer. Excellent. Thank you. So this expansion is, and we saw this a little bit where you tried to work in.
There seems to be a connection here.
Story quest stuff, which I was super keen on. This expansion definitely feels much more deeply linked into the campaign and story, to the point where Doriani's saying, "Go back in time and try and change these things that happened in the campaign." I was like, "This feels like a major campaign story beat."
Yeah, so
going on now.
There's a few things going on there. So initially, this league, unlike I think
clothes don't shapeshift.
Too much of in the past.
That's true. So after every time I shapeshift back into a human from my bear werewolf wyvern form, I should be naked technically, because it ruins the immersion if I'm wearing clothes still.
What leagues do is you've got this situation where you walk out of town in literally the first area, and it's some
it actually ruins my immersion and my day's ruined.
It's actually very unfortunate.
Put this rusty thing in your body.
Exactly right. So we kind of wanted to try and make sure that there's a little bit more it doesn't feel like the world is on your shoulders right from the get go. There's actually a little bit a growth of epicness throughout the league. So if we'd have had it, so it's you're time traveling into the past, the moment you walk out the gate, it's okay, it's just not quite right. So we decided what we'll do is we'll make.
Okay, they're not talking about Druid anymore. Sad. I was technically only sponsored to watch the update reveal, not really the Q&A. So I was just watching because I wanted to hear the more about Druid. So I'm good. I'm good. Still good. I'm waiting for the patch notes. I'm excited for the patch notes though.
It just doesn't kind of break the.
I'm not a brand risk. I'm not. They literally be swearing. They literally say fuck and shit on their own freaking stuff. And I refrained from making inappropriate comments during the entire unsponsored segment. So I contained myself. Maybe there was one inappropriate comment, but it wasn't that inappropriate. It wasn't that bad. There was one time. It was one time. The way Limes called one of the presenters a slut for showing a bit of ankle. You slut. Cover your damn ankle. You nasty harlot.